시작합니다.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is TyCasts, and we are starting the round of 16 in ASL Season 13, and that's going to be Group C, actually. This is the first match of the night. It's going to be between JyJ and Hero. I am really excited about this group because I'm a bit of a Jadon fan. I know he's just coming back from his service, military service, and I'm not sure if he's in the best shape in terms of StarCraft at the moment, but really excited to see how he's doing. This first match is actually going to be between Hero and JyJ. Two really strong players at the top of their games, at the top of their races as well. Hero, I think, finished either 3rd place or 4th place last season, and JyJ, always a very respected and powerful Terran player. And this first match is going to be played on Vermeer, so let's see how this goes. We have Hero scouting in the correct direction. That's going to be the counterclockwise direction with his Overlord, so he will find his opponent, I think, on time. And JyJ is putting a supply depot down towards the bottom of his base there at the natural. And I didn't introduce these players. JyJ up here as the gray Terran, and Hero up here at the top right as the green Zerg. Looks like Hero is actually putting down a 12 pool. Interesting choice. I think usually you see either like a 12 hatchery build or maybe a 9 pool to put on some pressure, but kind of Hero's kind of electing to go with a middle of the road, more defensive build order maybe. He might have practiced on this map and noticed that it's a large map, but actually the rush distance between these adjacent positions that they're currently in might be pretty close. Maybe he wants to just make sure that he's absolutely safe from any kind of early aggression. But we're seeing that JyJ's not really going for early aggression. Looks like he's going for just a standard wall at his natural there, and starting to float some more minerals, so I'm assuming that he's going to put down a command center pretty quickly here. First Marine coming out. Hero will see that SCV scout coming out, so they're gonna know where each other are now. You see with that 12 pool build order, Hero's already got a couple Zerglings out, so absolutely safe from any kind of early aggression. And Hero's gonna find this first scouting SCV, put a lot of damage on it right away. Overlord's starting to take some shots from that first Marine, but that Overlord is going to be perfectly safe for now. And JyJ is reacting to this early, somewhat early Zerglings and playing a couple SCVs to kind of plug that door right there, that constriction that he's got. He's got a wall, but it's not a full Zergling type wall, so he still has to rely on a couple of units to stay safe from any kind of Zergling run-bys or anything like that. A fresh SCV gets in here and gets a full scout on Hero, sees the gas timing. But it is taking a good amount of claw hits from those Zerglings, and actually gets taken out on the ramp right there. So pretty good pick off for Hero. It's always really good to kind of get rid of that first scouting SCV and keep your opponent in the dark. And it looks like JyJ is getting into a pretty high barracks count. No gas yet. Looks like he's throwing up his 3rd barracks. Okay, there goes the gas. I can see on the minimap there. He just put up a refinery. And JyJ, Hero actually putting up a lair now. So pretty standard stuff coming from Hero. Couple SCVs being transferred for some mining at the bottom here. This build coming out of JyJ looks pretty Marine heavy. He seems to want to keep this Marine count pretty high. Not rushing to any kind of upgrades or infantry or academy upgrades or anything like that. Okay, well there goes an academy now, but it's not one of these +1 early engineering bay build orders. It's looks like it's more of a unit heavy composition for now. And we're getting a shot of the view that Hero has with that scouting overlord that's perched over the cliff right there at the natural, and he's going to see a pretty high Marine count at this stage in the game. JyJ is kind of poking out here, threatening a move out, and we see Hero is, you know, kind of respecting that. He put up a creep colony there. I imagine he will morph that to a sunken colony when the time is right. But for now, just kind of reacting a little bit to this pretty high Marine count. You know, constant production coming off of these 3 barracks here. And yeah, a couple medics now. This is looking like a pretty strong move out, an academy rush coming out of here. And yeah, Hero is definitely respecting this, putting up 3 creep colonies at every vulnerable base, his natural and his 3rd base. And we see JyJ moving pretty quickly across the map here. Yeah, this rush distance is pretty short, you know, so Hero is, he's gonna need to get these Sunkens morphed up pretty quickly here. I think JyJ, his stim pack just finished, and he's moving in here, starting to focus down these Sunken colonies. The drones get pulled. Hero's trying to get the drones all over these Marines, and that is working pretty well. JyJ moves back just a bit, picks off 2 or 3 drones in the process, but doesn't get any of those Sunken colonies, so that early aggression, you know, kind of putting a little bit of, you know, probably making Hero just a little nervous with that high Marine count, but at this point, Hero's going to be absolutely safe for now from further aggression, I think, with the 3 Sunken colonies at each base. And the Spire is finished, so we're going to see some Mutalisk most likely here. Factory coming up. Engineering Bay as well, we can see that it's blinking, so getting that +1 attack. I think JyJ really just wanted to get you know, a high infantry count early and see what kind of damage he could do at the natural there. You know, I think coming out of that, I would say you know, a couple drones were picked off, but really nothing else. So I wouldn't necessarily say anybody's ahead at this point. He's kept Hero at home. You know, we haven't seen any Mutalisks come across the map. They're gonna try to come across the map now. But let's see what kind of damage he can do. I think JyJ, the threat that he's putting on the board right here is definitely big enough that Hero has to respect that. And yeah, we can see that he's keeping his Mutalisks kind of dogging this this large bio group here. And try coming here, maybe go for some swipes. But JyJ is on top of it, stimming his group. 2 starports coming down, most likely for this SK Terran style, more barracks as well. So yeah, JyJ definitely going to a pure bio build here. We see the factory floating down, and no real indication of any kind of mech switch as of yet. Alright, Hero feels confident enough with his defenses back at home that he can come in here with these Mutalisks and starting to destroy some of these missile turrets. 4 missile turrets are in position, but JyJ has his SCVs trying to repair those, but you know, when you got a full group of Mutalisks like that, all it takes is about 3 hits, you know, 3 volleys from the Mutas to destroy a missile turret, so you can't really out-repair that type of damage. More and more Sunken colonies here, and JyJ is actually committing to this. He's moving in with his infantry group, trying to focus down these Sunken colonies. There's 5 Sunken colonies with a 6 coming up. Mutalisks have been pulled back, and he's going to try to reduce this bioforce yet again. Yeah, now he's actually committing to a full-on attack. Ooh, I don't know if I like this. A lot of Mutalisks are going down. You know, he doesn't have the Zergling support here, and there's plenty of medics, so that was a pretty good trade for JyJ, I'd say. Took that Mutalisk count from about 10 down to 5. And yes, the bio group does get killed, but the number of Mutalisks is low enough now that I think JyJ really doesn't have to worry too much about further harassment unless Hero adds a lot more Mutalisks. Second engineering bay going up at the natural there, and we see both of those starports blinking as well. That's got to be 2 science vessels that are coming out. Alright, we do have some additional mutalisks, so Hero is wanting to continue with pressure, but back at home we see that his hive has already completed and the Defiler mound is halfway done. So Hero has, you know, he's gone straight from this mutalisk harassment into an early hive. Really relying on those sunken colonies, and those sunken colonies have definitely done their job. Alright, 2 science vessels coming down. They were just produced, so I don't think they have irradiate energy quite yet. Yep, we see there that they're at about 65. So another 15 to 20 seconds and we will have irradiate energy. JyJ with those science vessels, he's gonna wrestle back this map control here and continue to put pressure on Hero. And see if he can get anything done here before Defilers. 2 macro hatcheries coming down for Hero. You know, this is really interesting. They're in these close positions, so it's a bit of like a, you know, like a pressure vessel here, where the Zerg has to get his unit count high on 3 bases. It's going to be pretty difficult for him to take additional expansions while his enemy is this close. Radiate goes down on the Mutalisk, a really good split off. And just a bit of damage going to go down on that flock of Mutalisks. Alright, we see 2 Evolution Chambers, a Queen's Nest Hydralisk Den, all at that 3rd base. Really great position to put those structures behind all those sunken colonies. Defiler mounts complete, so I think Hero is going to want to get into this this like Hydra, Zergling, Lurker, Defiler composition. You know, he rushed up to the hive quickly, but he's not going into Ultralisks very quickly. And this Hydra Defiler composition can be just really difficult to deal with. 2 irradiates go down on this Mutalisk flock. Some excellent split-offs once again, and the Mutalisk flock is quite well protected from those irradiates, but they did take, you know, there was 2 separate irradiates, so there's some stacked, you know, heavy damage going on there. So we see that the flock has been reduced down to just 4 Mutalisks. Now these 2 science vessels come up to the natural of Hero and nail 2 irradiates on the 2 Defilers that are there as well. So we are getting into pretty... Oh, actually, one of those was a Lurker. So a Defiler and a Lurker get taken out for some energy right there really quickly. JyJ, we see that he's got some really good map awareness, sending a couple Marines down to the bottom right, and we see on the mini-map he's got a Marine at the bottom left and the bottom middle positions as well. So he knows that Hero is not trying to sneak any additional bases or anything like that. But we do see a drone headed down from the 3 o'clock base down to the bottom right-hand location. So it looks like Hero is wanting to get that 4th base position. But I think, yeah, JyJ caught wind of that, so we see some Marines headed down there to cancel that. Ultralisk Cavern is up, actually, so as these Carapace upgrades start to get to maybe 2 or, you know, getting close to 3 here, looks like Hero wants to get some Ultras in play. Single Defiler and Lurker get down with a Dark Swarm, so that's just gonna kind of keep JyJ's team on edge there. Yeah, really high Marine count. We see JyJ's supply count starting to really skyrocket here a bit. He's at 140 supply Terran. That's pretty scary. Hero's floating a good number of minerals, 2,000, 1,000. I think he's kind of banking this for when the Ultralisk tech and research, those upgrades kind of get up to, as they complete complete, we're probably going to see Hero's bank kind of get drained here as soon as he wants to produce a bunch of Ultralisks, but there's definitely some vulnerability here while he's waiting for those upgrades, where JyJ just has such a high supply count in comparison. Haven't seen a single Plague go down yet. It's pretty much all Dark Swarms. There's one, getting 2 Marines and a Medic, so not the best Plague, but he was under pressure right there because the Irradiate was on him. But yeah, earlier he was pretty much relying all on Dark Swarm. Alright, we saw Hero's bank just evaporate right there, so I can imagine that a good number of Ultralisks has probably been produced. Floating science facility there, pretty cool to just kind of keep an eye on everything. It's a really, you know, a really high health scouting unit for Terran. And JyJ is just continuing to threaten the map here, that bottom right hand location, really denying the Zerg's ability to get a 4th gas. Alright, these Ultralisks have been hatched, and so we're going to start seeing, it looks like they were still slow. Pack of Zerglings catch this smaller group of infantry out here, getting some good trades. And now JyJ is fully aware of this Ultralisk development. Pretty big play goes down on this infantry group in front of the natural here. And a bunch of those Ultras went into the Nidus, that 3 o'clock position, so it looks like Hero's actually wanting to get a bit of a flank here on this infantry group, but these Ultralisks are all continuing to be irradiated. They don't have too much support at the moment. He sends the 3 irradiated Ultralisks into that infantry group, but the infantry group is high enough in number that he was able to gun down those Ultras before they get too much damage done. We got a quick catch on the infantry upgrades. He's got a 2-1. 3-1 now, looks like 3 attack. That max attack upgrade just finished for the Terran here, so that's going to help him tremendously in these engagements against the Ultralisks. Ultralisks, on the other hand, I think they are probably at 4 Carapace at the moment, with 1, yeah, that's right, 4-1. So these 2 players are keeping up with each other in terms of the upgrades, but JyJ has a pretty big supply advantage at the moment, so I'm not really liking Hero's decision to take these engagements. You know, he's sending out 6, 7 Ultralisks at a time, but with very little Zergling support. And Ultralisks, they're kind of supposed to be the damage sponge, right? While the Zerglings kind of close on their targets and are able to get their high DPS in. But if it's just Ultralisks, especially if they're irradiated, these Marines can gun them down pretty quickly. So we're seeing JyJ starting to take control of this game a bit. He's gotten into this 3rd base location. Actually, that's a 4th base location, and just guns it down really quickly. Hero's gas situation is pretty dire right now. He has no gas bank, as he's kind of throwing away those high gas cost units, Defilers, Ultras, some Lurkers, and he's not really going to be able to replenish those very easily. It's probably just going to be primarily Zerglings that are coming out here, and we see that Irradiate Eraser going down on the natural base there, kind of forcing a pull-off of drones. Really good move by JyJ. He's starting to put on the hurt for sure. And we see that supply discrepancy just get wider and wider with JyJ up here at nearly 170 supply, and Hero struggling to stay above 100. And JyJ loses a small group of Marines there. Hero's trying to retake that 4th base. Yeah, this infantry count is getting really scary here, and I imagine he might even have 2 armor now, so looks like JyJ wants to close this game out just a bit. He's starting to stand in these tactical positions, splitting up the Zerg reinforcement corridors there. It still has excellent map vision across the bottom of the map as well. At some point, a pretty big plague landed here on this infantry group, but yeah, there's just not quite enough Zerg here to overwhelm these groups of infantry. Four Defilers out here with no support, try to scare the Terran army away with their wriggling bodies, I guess. I don't know, trying to gross them out. And we saw an Irradiate go down one of them. The other three kind of run back to join the Zergling army here. And on the mini-map, we see JyJ starting to close in. I think he smells a little bit of blood in the water here. It still is pretty difficult to, you know, completely eradicate this Zerg infestation when they have Dark Swarm. A big plague lands on those science vessels, catches 5 of them. So if we can get maybe a Mutalisk or a couple Scourge coming in here and connecting as well, but a big Racer kind of coming in. Although he's headed back now, I think he's a little bit worried about the plague and these 1 health science vessels. He wants to keep supporting his infantry group as well. Splits off 2 of those science vessels to control that mineral line there with the Eraser. And yeah, we just see Hero really struggling to produce Scourges or anything that, you know, anything with a high enough Zerg technology here to be able to fight against this Science Vessel SK Terran composition. Big Plague lands on the infantry group there again, but yeah, we just see this onslaught of Marine Medic coming forward, mixing in a lot of Fire Bats now too, so that large mineral bank of Hero where he's kind of dumping it in Zerg is not really going to help, and we see Hero tap out as that 4th base gets taken again. JyJ showing some really good high pressure ZBT, well, I should say TVZ actually, kind of marauding around the map the whole game with his infantry force, adding science vessels. Just a really clean, aggressive TVZ coming in.
그렇습니다. 경기 내에서 어떤 식으로 조일장 선수를 괴롭혀야겠다라는 생각 자체도 확고했었고.
Alright, and that is going to do it for the first match here. We're going to see Hero drop into the lower bracket while JyJ continues on to the winner's bracket. And I think the next match we might be seeing Jadon and how his ZVZ is doing. So hope to catch you there. Thanks for stopping by, and see you in the next one.